Yeah.
Boner.
Death.
Death. Boner. Boner killing. Boner killer.
That's like the Boner Killer. That's a good title of an album.
Boner killer.
Boner Killer.
I think I named the new Black Crowes album when we had Steve Gorman on. I told him on the phone, "You got to name if you guys do another album, Body Shop."
Ooh, and he
That's a
liked
good
it.
He's impassive. He didn't really give a shit.
You love them. You were playing them on Rome like 2 weeks ago, nonstop.
Well, yeah, the guy. It was the Also, it was the one that was on. It was the Steve Gorman episode was the one that was up.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
If I have 2 million ears, I want those 2 million ears to go. Oh, I like the Black Crowes. Oh wait, the drummer's on the podcast. You know, you got to swing people over.
Swing them. I remember when I went to college, my roommate, I didn't have a car, and I'm like, dude, can I borrow your car to drive home to see my girlfriend, who went to Providence, by the way? And he's like, do you know how to drive stick? I'm like, no. He's like, let's go. And like we just hop in his red Chevy Cavalier convertible, and he's got like a Dead shirt on, and he put on Black Crowes. I never heard Black Crowes. I wasn't like a music head. So I turn on the car, and he goes, all right. He goes, you know how to drive stick? I'm like, no. He's like, just pushing the clutch, and you're going to get it going. Like the first time I popped right into first.
Really?
And he goes, you got it, bro. And then just cranked up the music. I'm like, I do not got it. I stalled that thing out like 100 times.
You drove from New Hampshire to Providence in first gear.
Yeah,
That's what you do when you don't know how to drive stick. You get it in first gear, and you're
It's
like,
like,
okay, let's just leave it here.
Let's just leave it.
Let's just be cool. First gear.
Burned it out. Burn that out.
I had a guy. I was in Virginia Beach on vacation. I was 16 the first time we went on a family vacation.
16.
And then when we all moved out of the house, my dad bought a yacht.
This guy.
I swear to God.
He knows what he's doing. He's like,
And a
"Fuck
race
it."
car.
Shut up,
He
really?
raced SCCA number 37.
Number 37.
And, you know, he had a lot of hobbies in his back
What
pocket.
kind of
but
yacht did he get?
It wasn't. It was. I mean, you could have like dinner in it. Like, you could sit at a table with your nieces and nephews. I
but
forget.
power or was it sail?
Oh, it was power.
Oh, nice.
But I remember when I saw photos of it, I was like, I guess it looks pretty big. And then when I saw like a photo of the whole thing, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Like, where the
That's
fuck
why I
was
never went to
this,
Disney
man?
World.
Yeah, right?
He's like, we don't have any money. We don't have any money. But in all fairness to my parents, my grandparents, one set lived at the Jersey Shore and had a boat in the water at all times. So we would like just go down to the shore all the time. And I had my own boat. Like I had the kind that you took out.
Jesus. You had what I was supposed to have.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Like, and I've talked about this before. Like, I would go out. I had no friends.
Yeah.
Because I was the youngest guy by like 3 years in the neighborhood. So like, once everybody hits junior high, later, dude, I'm not hanging out with a fourth grader. I'm in fucking seventh grade.
Fourth grader? No way.
I'm in seventh grade. I'm not hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So I would be out on my boat alone crabbing, and I would interview myself. I was I was on 60 Minutes, and I was the world's. We're here with the world's youngest sea captain.
Dude, I can see this right now. I'm seeing like a Sandlot version of this. You know what I mean? Like you just on the boat by yourself. That's crazy.
It was fun, and I couldn't have an engine until I turned 12 because they knew I'd like run into a pylon.
Get in the oars! Get in the oars only.
That's why I got this big back.
Yeah.
Rowing out to the Barnegat Bay.
That's unreal.
Yeah, so we never went on vacation. Then I was 16. We went to vacation. Virginia Beach, spring break. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the East Coast. You are, Jay Larson, but for my dear listeners, the ultimate warriors, Virginia Beach, kind of the exact same climate as New Jersey in April. It's like 60 fucking degrees.
Oh, yeah.
We're out there in our shorts. And remember those, like, mats? They're almost like, straw mats. Yeah. Like, that was the new thing, like in 86, straw mats. And my parents were out on the beach, lathered up like a Thanksgiving turkey, glazed, getting their sun on.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, this is awesome and bullshit at the same time because it's just me and my parents. And we drove down. And for some reason, it took 8 hours. I've made that drive since in 5. I don't know what happened. It took fucking 8 hours for the old man.
Yeah.
Saving gas probably. 45 miles an hour, JJ. That's the best speed.
Driving third. Taking in third.
No, that was a station wagon, bro.
Oh, man.
Give me stick station wagon. Do they have those?
No, they fucking don't.
We got to get one of those.
That would be tight.
Someone's got to make a stick station wagon.
With the bed seats in the front.
Bench seat stick station wagon with a big skull on the thing, on the shifter. So I remember there was mini golf, like massive emporium right across the street from our Holiday Inn.
Huge.
So I did that all day, every day because it's cheap and it takes like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was just like in my mind playing skins, like, is Jay Mohr for the putt for par? That'll put him in the lead. That's his share of the lead. It was pathetic.
There's like a family like laughing, like, can you keep it down over there?
And I'm like, look, this putt's a $100,000 putt.
I know.
That was in my mind.
Yeah.
So then I had a moped, and I went to the bar in the hotel.
Wait, where'd you get this moped?
I was a 16-year-old. I bought a moped.
But I mean,
somebody
was it
like
tagged? You guys like put it on a trailer or something?
No. Sorry. Where I live.
You drove along next to him.
They towed me.
Yeah.
Whoa! There's a governor on the engine. That's why it took 8 hours.
Yeah,
My dad couldn't
exactly.
tow me past 28 miles an hour.
And you're just down there interviewing yourself on the moped.
We're here with the
First
world's
cross
youngest
country trip on a moped.
driver. He's raising money for moped awareness.
Yeah.
Most kids had like the General, that cool moped that hauled ass.
It had
I
that
had
long
one,
black seat.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I remember those.
Like a Huffy bike.
Mm-hmm.
I had one. It was literally called a Julie. And it was a
No,
girl
wasn't.
moped. I bought it off a girl in Cedar Grove, New Jersey for like $200. And it had a governor. Most of them have governors on the engine. But
How
this
are you
thing,
making your money then?
Friar tuck in, waiter,
Nice.
making money, hand over
It's
fist, bro.
crushing over there.
I was. $108 a week.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I put it right to the ATM. It was a Mac machine then. It wasn't ATM.
Yeah,
it
of
was
course.
the Money Access Center.
It was one in your town.
Yeah, exactly. Verona Savings.
Yeah.
And I had my moped, and I remember I had my moped license. And so when we went down to Virginia Beach, I just went to the bar and I just went, "Can I get a Miller Lite?" And the lady at it was like a lunch counter that served booze. She goes, "ID?" And I was like, shit. And I just took out my moped license, and my moped license serial number at the top was like 080566.
Uh-huh.
I just handed it to her, and she saw that number at the top, and she goes, "Wow, you don't look 29." It was like some ridiculous age.
My
And
God.
I wrestled at 100 and like at 16, I was wrestling like 118 pounds.
Oh, my God.
I was a bone with like a mop of white hair. I looked like Edgar Winter in a wrestling varsity. I'm wearing a varsity wrestling jacket.
Oh, my
To
God.
Verona High School, and she's like, "You don't look 24." Okay. And then I was like, "Oh my God, now it's a vacation."
Yeah, no.
And I used to just tell my parents, "I'm going to be playing mini golf until after you go to bed." And I used to just get fucking pie-eyed.
Oh my.
Alone. I'd go into a steakhouse, and it worked all over the state.
I mean, who's going to question it?
Anybody with a high school education?
What was there a picture on it, or was it just
No.
you like on your moped? Like, it's just like,
They're like, no minor would ever show a picture of this gay moped.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I got served, and I remember going to like steakhouses and going like, "My God, I can be a man." Steak and beer. And I remember going at that same moment going, "This tastes terrible."
The beer.
Yeah, like I thought like steak and beer was like this incredible,
Yeah.
like I've made it, I'm a success, even though I was just 16 years old with my
Yeah.
parents on vacation. And I remember like taking a bite of steak and having like a beer going, "Oh no, I kind of like just the drinking part. The steak's getting in the way.
Yeah.
I'm filling my mouth with something other than booze."
Yeah. Well, first of all, you made it when you got a moped. You realized you had everything I wanted. You had a moped. You know how bad I wanted a moped.
Everyone in town had a moped. I had the girl moped.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the.
Julie, it was called.
I mean, that's unbelievable. My first golf clubs were women's clubs that my Aunt Rue gave me. So, I mean, I had
Aunt Rue?
women. Yeah, Auntie Rue.
Rue is short for.
Ruthie.
That's
It is
great.
my Nana's sister. So my Nana was Alma. Her sister was Gert and Rue. So there's Auntie Gert, Auntie Rue, and my
Holy
Nana,
smokes.
Alma.
You were raised by very old women, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's who was all around. My mom was an only child, so when my parents divorced, then it was my Nana and my aunts that were around. But baller situation they had. my two aunts lived together. They never
Auntie
married.
Rue was a baller.
She was. She balled out to 100. Auntie Gert only made it to 98. But those two clowns lived together for 90 years. They never married.
Wait, you just called your aunts clowns?
Yeah, well, they were.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's the most affectionate thing. Those two clowns. That's
That's
why hold on. For the listeners, that's why you got to listen to the Crab Feast, because Jay Larson can put things that way that you would never think. Like, I was listening to the episode. I forget who the guest was. He didn't talk much. I asked Sickler later if he was really high because he barely spoke. But you guys were having a conversation about having sex with really, really old people.
Uh-huh.
And you said there was a lady that you worked at a restaurant with, and you went to her house. and she's
Aviva,
laying on
yeah.
the bed, and you
Yeah.
go, "Then I got the fuck me vibe, so I bounced." I'm like, what? I was doing curls at the gym.
She's a Holocaust
And
survivor.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah.
So hot.
Um,
I was doing curls at the Spectrum Club, and the curl machine is right at the top of the steps, and people are coming out of a spin class, coming up the steps, and I'm looking them in the eyes and going,
oh, my God.
And they think I'm laughing at them because they're sweaty messes.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because you said, "I got the fuck me vibe, so I bounced."
She,
Aviva. And you said, "I'm massaging her in the kitchen." And I understood exactly what you meant.
yes.
And Sickler goes, "Wait a minute. You're massaging a lady at the restaurant?" And in your defense, you remember what you said?
I know exactly what I said.
What'd
I
you
go,
say?
"You never worked in a restaurant,
Have you ever
bro?"
worked at a restaurant? Like somehow, and to say
Everyone knows. Like,
if you work in a restaurant, it makes perfect sense. You wind up massaging somebody's neck and shoulders. And to Sickler, and I understood both. I laughed so hard because I understood both sides. And Sickler's like, what?
I always got to defend myself.
If you work in a restaurant, you obviously know that you massage 85-year-old women and make them think there's a sexual tension between you. But if you have worked at a restaurant, right now you're listening going, yes, that's exactly what happens.
And next time you listeners, morons, / ultimate warriors, next time you're out there, you guarantee you look over at the soda station and there's a way to massage in another one.
Basically, if you're an old woman, if you want some dick, you got to work at a restaurant.
You got to. I mean, you'll get action if you work at a restaurant. Everybody knows that.
So Auntie Roo.
Yeah. Auntie Roo and Auntie Gert live next door to my Nana, okay? My Nana got married at like 40 to my grandfather.
Regulating the block, the Larson clan.
Oh, yeah, they took it over. This is the Spinellis, bro.
All right.
These are the Spinellis, and then Nana turned into a Reed. She got married. My grandfather went to war 2 weeks later. He came back. They got pregnant. My Nana was old. Yeah.
Fuck, I couldn't find a pause.
It's all right. It's all right.
I just tried to wiggle it in there.
I liked it.
You're too strong.
And so my other two aunts, my Aunt Rue was dating this dude. He went over to the war and then sent her a Dear John, like bounced on her. So she never.
He got the fuck me vibe from an old person overseas, so he bounced.
Yeah. So Auntie Rue and Auntie Gert never married. They lived next door to my Nana their whole lives. They never married. They lived together the whole time until.
This in New Hampshire?
No, this is in Reading, Mass. I lived in Stoneham. They lived in Reading, and but badass. My grandfather was like an inventor. Like he tried a couple inventions. One was to put sound to film. P.S. And he missed out on the patent, which would have been fucking baller for me. You think I'd be sitting here with you jackasses?
You know what you'd be doing right now?
Negative.
You'd be riding a moped.
Yeah, in fucking Nepal or some shit.
You'd have a moped in the back of a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
With an outboard engine, and you'd be interviewing yourself as the world's youngest sea captain with moped like son to me, man.
Millionaire. And so he made this thing. He hooked up a phone line from my Nana's house to my aunt's house that you just picked it up and it rang. So you just like pick up the phone and I'd be like, hey, you guys coming over? And they're like, yeah, we're coming over right now, Jay.
Like a hotel phone.
Yeah.
Like a house phone.
Yes. And then the other
white courtesy phone in the airport.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other cool thing he made was...
How do you do that?
I don't know. He was like, he knew how to do a ton of shit. He built his own camera at 12. But above the basement door of my Nana's house was this box that he put in with a green light and a red light. And the green light would go on when the mailman opened the mailbox. Okay, so when he opened the mailbox, the green light would go on. So when my Nana's walk around the house, she'd be like, oh, mail's here. And then the red light was hooked up to the dryer in the basement. And when the dryer was done, the red light was going on. How did he hook that up?
I don't know, but more like, why did he feel like your Nana needed vision cues to do everyday
He's
tasks?
saving her steps, man. He's like, you don't want to go all the way down there and check
I don't
that
want
out.
you checking the dryer like a human being. You look up. If that red light's on, you go out.
You go down there and
I don't want you going to the dryer. What, mailbox? No daughter of mine's going to walk to the mailbox
where
until
that is?
that fucking green light comes on, honey. Hey!
And it had a little button next to the door of the basement. You just press to clear the lights. Like once those lights are on, you're like, doink, lights cleared.
What do you mean clear the lights?
Like to turn the lights off. Like,
to turn the lights off?
Like clean slate. Like, oh, your dry's done. Doink. No, next time it's done. Boom. We'd always go out there.
I don't understand it. What you're saying?
Like
clear the lights.
Like like the lights would stay on until you press the button.
The red light for the dryer.
Yeah. So until you press the button, those lights would stay on. So this is the way you clear the slate.
You should have had a light, like an amber light, to let your Nana know that she hadn't pressed the button to clear the lights.
Yeah, right.
And it just keeps going and go. Like when you see your reflection in an elevator, when it just goes all the way through. Like there's 1,000 of you. You should have just done that. A light world to make your Nana crazy.
Oh my god.
And then it comes full circle. Like, well, oh no, the green light is for the other light.
She'd just be tormented by these lights.
How long did he live?
He died when I was 5.
Oh my god!
I actually, you know what I remember? In his den, like he had like an office / den, which he had like like cool
That's
stuff.
why you like Harry Anderson's office.
I just love offices. Yeah, always wanted an office my whole life.
Law and Order. You must love.
I don't even watch it.
Oh, nice talking.
But they have I gotta go. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, no problem. That's the crab face.
And we sat in his office while like 2 weeks before he died, and Sting was on. You know that movie, The Sting?
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time. It was epic. Just sitting there watching The Sting. He's dying in his leather chair. Still have that chair.
You have it in your house?
No. It's at my mother's house. Like I used to have it in my my room growing up. I was like, I want that goddamn chair. And, like, it had a little burn mark on the arm where he put his cigarettes out. Where the fucking mayor of
Buddy
Rhode
Cianci?
Island, yeah,
Why do you say what really happened? Where he fell asleep with a cigarette in his hand and it burnt the chair?
Burnt
I
the
like how
house
you're
down.
like, he just felt like putting a cigarette out on the arm of the chair. He was a maverick.
that's what he. Yeah, he was. That guy was kind of a badass.
I got to read this, and I'll keep the person anonymous. Adam Carolla and I got into a discussion about fat people in America being hugely fat. You, by the way, look terrific. I
Thank
know
you.
had a concerted effort to lose weight.
Well, I'm still trying. I mean, I got ways to go.
You're
but I
all right.
appreciate
You're looking good. And this guy says, enjoy the podcast. You touch on serious topics. I want to follow up on Carolla. It was funny, but it saddens me that you, who seems fairly intelligent, would have the attitude you do about fat people. I work out, lift weights 3 days a week, run 3 to 5 miles 3 times a week, and hike backpacking every weekend. I am fat.